What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the next episode here on Sports Talk with Hawk. Welcome in. As you can tell, it is a gorgeous day outside here. Hopefully the weather is good where you are at as well. We're going to dive into the San Francisco 49ers today, a team that, for lack of a better term, is really surprisingly bad this year. Obviously, they had some injuries, but look at what the Lions did with all the injuries. Injuries can't necessarily be an excuse for what you do through the year. Eventually in the playoffs, best against best, you do need the players to be able to play. You do need those, you do need that depth in the playoffs to make it work. You get tired. You're playing in weeks 19, 20, 21, and now weeks 22. So injuries can't be the excuse for the season, but it is the reason for the Lions. Just they ran out of defensive players. Eventually, you just lose guys that can actually play the way you want to play. So it's really that simple. And I don't think we need to really go much further than that. But we're going to look at this team, and the numbers really don't add up. They really don't add up at all. We're going to take a look here, and I've got the numbers in front of me. Let me get my pencil here. So I got the numbers in front of me, and looking back, it doesn't make any sense why they finished dead last in the NFC West, especially a year in which the Rams had so many offensive line injuries it took them forever to be able to score points on the offensive side of the ball. So you're looking at, they were the fourth best offense in the NFL. 376 yards a game. The best offense in the NFL. They were the fourth best passing offense, which I know Brock Purdy's agent is probably trying to push, saying how good he was. We'll get to why he sucks here in a little bit. But they averaged 249 yards passing. They were 12th in rushing at 127 yards rushing. So this is without Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, Debo constantly injured. That's pretty impressive. The way that they played this year should not have ended up in a fourth place finish in the NFC West. You look at defensively, they were 8th. So you were top 5 in offense, top 10 in defense. Defensively, they allowed 317 yards a game. They were 5th against the pass at 193 yards a game. 18th against the run with 124 yards a game. Offensively, they averaged 23 points per game, and defensively, they allowed 25 points a game. Now, here's the big difference. Turnover differential. -10. That is not indicative. Now, one thing that is starting to become normal with Kyle Shanahan teams, and I'll make a different point about this in a minute. Special teams doesn't matter to him enough. They failed on special teams. It's what cost them the Super Bowl. I will go all the way down saying last year's Super Bowl, he lost on the special teams play. And special teams has never mattered enough. If special teams mattered, Debo would be returning every kick or punt return. Period. If special teams mattered, that's what he would do. But he really does it lackadaisically. He's not good at it and doesn't put a focus on being special in special teams to make a difference. So, turnover differential, -10. They had 11 interceptions, 6 fumble recoveries, but they gave away 16 interceptions and 11 fumbles. Not a recipe, once again, not a recipe for how to win in the NFL. Now, before we get to all the other stuff as we look ahead to 2025, I thought about this. And I was thinking about this right before, it was while I was watching the Philadelphia Commander game, and right before the Chiefs and Bills came on. The offensive coordinator for the Falcons, the year that they blew the Super Bowl lead, which never should have happened. The head coach, when he blew a lead in the Super Bowl. Head coach, when he couldn't make the play call in the Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is that coach where he should have one or two Super Bowls, and he may end up with one. His play calling, his style, he goes ultra conservative in big games. Think about last year. That Super Bowl, he played to not lose. He didn't play to win. He played to not lose. The Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl, all the play calling sucked badly. I think he's a great head coach. I think he helps 24 of 32 franchises in the NFL if they were to bring him in, trade for him. But his Achilles heel is very simply in big games. He clams up as the play caller. He tightens up. He goes ultra conservative. That's his problem. So, I don't know what the future is going to hold for the 49ers when you've got a guy that doesn't want to take risks with a team that has to get younger. The veterans got to leave. They're old. They're injured all the time. You got to let them go. And that brings us to what we got. They got $41 million in cap space. Now, somebody commented saying that my cap numbers are different than what they've seen on some screens. You want to know why? You're being lied to. You are being lied to. And here's how you're being lied to. The numbers they're giving you is not the adjusted cap numbers. They're giving you the basic cap numbers without dead cap hit. We know what the dead cap hit for 2025 is for some teams already. The Broncos already have dead cap money for Russell Wilson next year. The dead cap is already sitting there. So the adjusted cap takes into account the dead money that is there and any other allocations that money is going to. So although the numbers seem to not match up when you're watching some big sports, it's because they're lying to you and they decide they're not going to use the actual number. You know how it is. They like inflating things. Here's the actual number, $41 million in cap space. Still a great amount of money. 8 draft picks. I trust John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan to draft. I absolutely trust them to be able to draft. Now, here's the thing. So let's go down here. Let me bring up their free agents because they got a lot. They got 31 free agents. This is what bothers me if you're the 49ers. Travarius Ward, free agent. Dre Greenlaw, free agent. Devondre Campbell, we already know about that. He's gone. John Feliciano, free agent. Kevin Givens, free agent. Aaron Banks, free agent. You got a lot of role players further down. Rock Yassin, Tashawn Gibson, Patrick Taylor, the running back. There's actually 2 pages because of where I pulled this off of. It's actually 31 people. It's 2 pages for screenshots. So there's a lot of free agents they have. And it's a lot of guys that have done really good for them. Two of their free agents are Josh Dobbs and Brandon Allen. So their backup quarterbacks are free agents as well. I don't know where. I don't know where the money's going to get allocated. I really don't. When you look at the salary cap table, so the 49ers, there they are. They have roughly $16 million in dead money. Okay? The effective cap space comes out to around $41.5 million. Do you need more? So I guess there's two questions this offseason. The first question is going to be, what do you do with Brock Purdy? Everybody's going to be asking that question all offseason. Purdy's camp, I know, is going to want an extension. He doesn't deserve it. Not at all. He'll try to use the numbers as his advantage. He had a lot of garbage time yards. We know that. They got down. Ended up having garbage time yards. Do I think he's viable? Yes. Do I think that San Francisco is going to spend $55 million on him? I wouldn't. He gets a Baker Mayfield. He gets what I believe Sam Darnold is going to get. He gets a $35 million contract. We can talk. We can talk at $35 to $40 million contract. The second question is going to be Debo Samuel. He's injured a lot. He's getting older. His production as a receiver, he's past the true production as a receiver. So the out-of-the-box idea is really going to be simple. You have the number 11 pick in the draft. You have to rework some of the secondary and the offensive line. I believe Trent Williams potentially can retire. I do. He's injured a lot. You've already dealt with a ton when it comes to him. So here's what I would do. And it's not really out of the box because nothing with the 49ers is. Dak Prescott's coming off of an injury. Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins just came off of an injury. If you're the 49ers, and this is the only out of the box, because the trades for Debo, I feel, are going to be rolling in. Teams are going to trade for Debo. That one would actually be an easy trade to make. Since you're paying Ayuk, you're going to want to trade Debo. You got Pearsall and you got Juwan Jennings. So you've got your receivers. You still got Kittle. McCaffrey, I think you may need to move on from. So here is the out-of-the-box idea. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but what if you trade with the Titans? What if you trade with the Titans? Trade Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey. I know. You get the number 1 pick. You get Cam Ward. And you only lose your number 11. McCaffrey isn't going to get a lot right now because of all the injuries. It's time to move on. Patrick Taylor did fantastic. Guerrero, fantastic. Running backs work in this. You can go get one of the running backs that's currently sitting second, and they'll be a starter. We also have a draft where there's 20 legitimate running backs coming out in the draft. Draft one in the 3rd round, draft one in the 5th round too, and see which one you rather play. I think this is a move kind of like the Trey Lance deal, but you don't end up paying Purdy. If Tennessee wants to give him $50 million a year, let them do it. If Christian McCaffrey has one good year with Tennessee, big whoop, he's in the AFC, didn't burn you. I know it's out there. But then you can get Cam Ward or Sanders. In Shanahan's offense, I think Sanders would be better. Sanders is the more accurate. He would be more comfortable with the way Shanahan plays. His offense plays out. I think Shanahan would really help improve where Sanders struggles. And it's got weapons. It's the 49ers. Let's just be honest. So, there's my out-of-the-box idea. Would Tennessee take it? You know what? If I'm Tennessee, I may. I get a year with Brock Purdy to decide whether or not he's the quarterback I want to keep. I don't have the question mark of the rookie. I get Christian McCaffrey. It's a, swip swap when it comes to it. If I end up having the Christian McCaffrey that's 85% of his best, I've still got better than what I got in Tony Pollard. Pollard isn't bad, but he's not Christian McCaffrey. I would try to do that trade if I'm the 49ers. You're going to probably make the Debo trade, probably to a Washington, maybe a Baltimore, possibly Buffalo. I don't think Buffalo's going to go that route. I think they're done with Divas. Diggs kind of put a really sour taste in their mouth, and they really enjoyed the receivers with Shakir, Coleman, Hollins. They loved Cooper's, professionalism. Amari Cooper fits what Buffalo needs to be. Head down, go to work, play football. But I think there'd be about 4 teams that legitimately would go after Debo Samuel. Maybe even the Broncos. If Sean Payton really looks at it and goes, I just need a veteran to help these young guys keep coming along. Maybe even the Chargers. But my thought's going to be the Commanders are going to be after a lot of people. The Commanders really understand what they have to do. Adam Peters knows this organization. So I think that's exactly where they would go. I think that's exactly who would give the call and go after them. So 8 picks, number 11 pick in the draft, 31 free agents, $41 million in cap space. Trade Purdy, McCaffrey, the number 11 pick, get the number 1 pick in the draft. I think Shadur Sanders fits better. Go get Sanders. Restart the offense, get a little bit younger. Keep hitting on the rest of your draft picks. You'll still have 8 draft picks then. Hit on the draft picks, rebuild San Francisco, and you'll be back to fighting for the number 1 spot in the division. To me, it's really simple. They have a very quick path to getting back to division title competition, unlike some other teams. I think the 49ers have a legit shot to really bounce back if they just hit on the draft picks and if they play this offseason correctly. So there we go. It's the 49ers. San Francisco 49ers. Snapshot done. For me, it is Tuesday afternoon. For you guys, it is Wednesday. Hopefully the week is treating you well. We are halfway through the week. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Please make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like the podcast. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do the Buccaneers. We're going to do our first playoff team. So tomorrow we're going to do the Buccaneers. And we will keep moving forward from there. Appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by and hanging out. Until next time, for Sports Talk with Hawk, I'm Hawk, and I'm out.